Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
This is the Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
A road win for Syracuse and their first win in ACC play for the 2026 new year. 82-72, the final score down in Atlanta as Syracuse takes down Georgia Tech. Giovanni Heater with you postgame right here on CuseSportsTalk.com and ESPN. Syracuse, really impressive first half for this Syracuse basketball team. Got out to a lead, controlled, scored over 40 points heading into the locker room. Then a little bit of a dip in that second half as things got a little bit closer than comfort towards the tail end of the ball game. But listen, anytime you go on the road in conference play and come away with a double-digit win, 82-72 the final score, I don't think there's much to complain about. I understand a little bit of a dip, as Coach Autry would like to say, but Syracuse comes away with a 10-point win and moves to 1-1 in ACC play. We welcome you in, whether you're on CuseSportsTalk.com, if you're on the YouTube page, if you're hanging out on 97.7, 100.1 FM. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Tuesday night. The phone lines are open, 315-437-7644. The number to call, as always, that's for ESPN 44. And it looks like we already got people ringing in as we take you through some of the box score numbers. And you have to start with Donnie Freeman. Career high scoring night for Donnie Freeman, the sophomore forward for the Orange. 27 points, 9 of 18 from the floor, good for 50%. 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, had the sweet stroke at times, but also didn't do it too much, right? Really picked his moments to let the long ball fly. 7 of 11 from the free throw line, continuing to show that he's one of the better free throw shooters on the team. Had 9 rebounds as well. Nearly a double-double performance in 34 minutes for Donnie Freeman. And it's so fascinating to see how much of a difference one player coming back into the fold truly does make. This team feels like it's playing at a whole different level with Donnie Freeman back on the court for Syracuse. And you have to sit here and think, what could have been if they had Donnie Freeman out in Vegas? What could have been if they had Donnie Freeman against Hofstra? And I just feel like if Donnie Freeman never gets hurt, we're probably not sitting here talking about sweating things out come Selection Sunday and all the pressure on you have to win. I mentioned it in the pregame show, what I think is 5 of the next 6, and have to pick up the quad 1 wins. And like all of that would still be true in the sense of you need some quad 1 wins, you need some marquee victories, but they probably would have never lost to Hofstra. I don't know that they lose all 3 out in Las Vegas. And I just think this team would be playing better basketball if Donnie Freeman had been in the fold all the way throughout. But he's back. He looked very, very good tonight. He looked dominant in the second half against Clemson. He's clearly the best player on this basketball team, and they're a much better team offensively and defensively when Donnie Freeman is on the floor. Phone lines are open. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's get Pat involved, get Pat in the mix here. We don't want to keep him waiting too long. Pat, how we doing? How we feeling after the 10-point ACC road win?
You know, I don't know what's better, the first half or the post game with you and Jordan. I mean, I might lean towards the latter. I mean, you and Jordan are like the dynamic duo.
Well, we appreciate you, Pat. What did you think about? I'm sure you were sitting there like all of us thinking, oh boy, here we go. As Red calls it, the dip was in full effect, and Georgia Tech definitely made things scary at the end there. But then I think there's something to be said for, look, you went on the road, won a game by 10 points in conference play, looked really good for probably 75% of the game doing it. Overall, what are your thoughts?
I thought that it was the perfect storm for Georgia Tech, you know, making stupid shots, you know, couple fluke out of bounds that they had to go to replay. I mean, I don't think it was as close as it became. I mean, Georgia Tech just played harder for 5 minutes. I didn't think we were going to lose, but it would have been disappointing, you know, have it go to like a one possession game or something like that. But I'll tell you the two things that I like that Red did. I do like that he went zone, although the second or third possession late there when they gave up that corner three, that was kind of in a secondary transition.
Yeah.
But that's inexcusable. That three in the corner, a quick hitting three like that is just absolutely inexcusable. And I don't necessarily blame Red for that. Yeah, I mean, the guys on the floor have to know how to play the game. And I think that leads to my point with JJ. I mean, stupid shot after stupid shot. He did not play well. And I don't trust him late in the game to make free throws. And Red's got his hands full with this roster and the lineup and the decisions he has to make. And I'm not going to say it's easy because I don't know how he kept Cayenne out more in the second half because, I mean, Cayenne was the best player on the floor in the first half. I mean, maybe Donnie, but I thought in limited minutes, I mean, he didn't even get what did he play? Maybe 8 minutes in the first half, maybe 10?
Yeah, he got 18 on the night. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he played a little bit more in the first half than I'm saying, but the point is he was killing it. I mean, back threes and ones, another three. Just he's a smart player. I understand his defense isn't where you want it to be, but I mean, Kings is really an enigma. I mean, he's shooting to shoot. He's not shooting to make it. If you look at his clips last year, his shot is just totally different. Like he is just forcing his shot. It's really not good. And I thought Betsy should have played more in the second half. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't have been opposed to Betsy playing a little bit more in the second half. You look, let's see, what did Betsy shoot from beyond the arc? Because that's obviously his thing. He went 1 of 3.
And 1 or 2 of them were in and out. I mean, he had one that was bad, one was in and out, and then he made one. But my whole thing with this team is, I mean, I think we would be better with JJ 25 minutes. I just don't think JJ is a 30-minute guy. I really don't. What do you think?
Well, I think Cayenne was pretty exceptional in the first half, and I would like to see Cayenne more than 18 minutes. I think he, especially too, because Nate George, granted, he turned the ball over 6 times, and there were a couple times where Nate was frustrating tonight, but he did end up with 17 points, went 3 of 5 from the floor. I mean, Nate went 10 of 10 from the stripe. So he was making you pay at the line. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a little less JJ. Somewhere around, so JJ plays 28 minutes tonight. I'd be okay with JJ playing, 24, and then maybe you bring Cayenne up to 22? That sounds like a better mix to me.
I don't trust JJ. I mean, he had 2 really, really bad key possessions. I mean, he's got to make that layup, and he whiffed it. And he also was really struggling on defense too. To be honest with you, he's just not a senior type player. He's just not. But the way Donnie is, elevating everybody else, this team it's going to be interesting. But let me leave you with this.
Yeah.
So I think we're 2 games behind, and I think what people also may or may not understand is that the conference is rated a little better. So I think there's some opportunity. I would say the only way that you have to surprise with like a really good win, and then you can't have a hiccup, and then you have to win it. You have to go an extra round in the tournament, and those 3 things. I don't know which one of those is harder because we haven't made the semifinals of the ACC. We haven't made a semifinal game since we played Rick Pitino, and I was at that game. Against Louisville. I mean, that's how long it's been since Syracuse played in the semifinals. That would give me hope. And no hiccups is a huge thing that almost no team does.
No,
and
you're going to stumble somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, but everybody knows that. But our stumble, we already spent that. With the Hofstra game, we already spent that.
Right.
Losing to Houston was a tough one. It doesn't hurt you, but it really could have helped you. So that's really what I got. I think this rotation will. Oh, the last thing too is Soiree. He plays too much. I don't care what anybody says. He should be a limited minutes guy, especially with Donnie back on the roster. I mean, he fouls out. You're playing 4-on-5. He is I'm sure Georgia Tech doesn't miss him. How about that?
Pat, what do you think about? I think they got to win at least 5 of the next 6, and it's a tall task. But these are the ones you can't afford to mess around with because you're not. Let's face it, they're not going to win all the quad 1 games. It's like impossible.
No.
But they're gonna get a couple. At least you'd hope they're gonna get a couple of those. But I think this is where you got to win like 5 of the next 6. And the 2 that you can afford a loss is either Virginia Tech or Miami. Both of those teams are within the top 50 of the net.
Right. And if you get both of those, then now you're like a game behind.
Yeah.
Where you needed to be to be there. And that's a tall task. I'm just taking it game by game because, I mean, we have seen this team play great without Donnie and, potentially win a quad 1 game if you make your free throws. And then we've seen this team play just horrific and look like a bottom feeder. So who knows?
Yeah.
I think with Donnie, I don't think you're going to see any more bottom feeders. He's just too tough to defend.
I 100%. He changes the entire complexion of the team. They look like a completely different team, offensively and defensively.
Still don't trust Red.
Well, I don't know if I disagree with you there. We appreciate you, Pat.
Neither does JB, and that's why he wanted GMAC. But that's a story for another day. And I say neither one of them because in this day and age, college basketball is just such a tough thing. And I know we have a GM now, blah blah blah. But there's just it's a tall task. It is a tall task, and I'll leave you with that. Thanks, Gio.
You're the man, Pat.
When are you leaving?
My last game will be I'll do the pregame for the Virginia Tech game on the 21st, and that'll be the last one. So we'll enjoy it.
You'll be missed.
We appreciate it. You're the man. Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Gio.
All right, that's our guy, Pat, as always, calling in after the games. We'll take a short break. When we come back, plenty more to unpack. A 10-point road win in the ACC for Syracuse, 82-72, the final score down at Atlanta. The Orange take down Georgia Tech. If you want to call in and chat next, 315-437-7644 is the number to call. You're listening to CuseSportsTalk.com and ESPN Syracuse. I totally should have thought of that sooner with the headphones.
I wanted to tell you, but
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it while
Yeah. I was thinking that it usually plays through that because it does until I turn my microphone on and then it turns that off. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I blanked on that, but pretty much, yeah. Pretty much always, yeah. Yep. Everyone says he's gets heated and stuff, but I've yet to see that. But. Yeah, I guess so. I guess he yells at Paulie or with Paulie. I should say with, not at. But I guess Tim will hang up on him too.
Really?
Yeah, I've never seen it though. I kind of want to see it. It'll pop up, and they'll type it in. So that said Pat in Syracuse. So I knew who it was. So that's all Jordan. When he takes the call, he types it into the computer, and then we always have this is the chat, and it's so this is what you would see if you even pulled up Twitch on your phone or computer, but this is just everybody saying whatever, Yeah, Mike, no red since it's on the road. See, they'll ask questions. Usually we just chat with them during the breaks because that's kind of the point of having the video version. It's no breaks, you know what I mean? Keep the show going in a way.
Is there audio now or no audio?
Yeah, actually yeah, there's audio right now. Yeah, and then so they can hear. So I turned off the commercials so they don't hear the commercials. They hear this, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the incentive to watch on here. Is you don't have to listen to commercials and stuff. Honestly, most of our viewers come on this.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, I could turn your mic on if you want.
I'm not trying to interrupt your show.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, you're more than welcome to. I turned this one on if you do wanna.
Hi, Mike.
What is Jordan doing? Jordan has hacked the computer. Oh, he's got quotes from Red.
Is this connected to, like, where's the Twitch thing now?
Jordan just went in and
Okay.
because he can access this computer
And he
from out
wants you
there
to see
too.
this.
Yeah, he wanted me to see this, so I guess we'll. Oh, he's doing it again. Oh, yeah, yeah, right. But yeah, but then this is our game. We don't score without Anthony. What are they arguing about? We won by, yeah, I agree. Like, they won by double digits. You know what I mean? Like, we can't be, beggars can't be choosers, right? Like,
And you can go off this sometime. You can talk about what.
yeah, you can talk about whatever, yeah. Especially since there's no press conference, it's really just kind of at our own. You know what I mean? So it says it right here, and then like I know, see how like where it says fade, like right here, it's counting down. So that's a 30-second ad. This will be a 15-second ad, and it'll play like this liner where like Jim Boeheim or somebody will be like, "You're listening to ESPN Syracuse," and then like the intro leading us back in. So like, anytime I see the post-game rejoin, I know that's like I'm coming back, and I just kind of keep my eyes on that. Yeah, it's very basic. The pregame rundown has like actual ad reads and stuff, but there's no ad reads in the postgame.
You're gonna do this now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll do it. That's just really to give me like something to talk about if like I don't have anything to talk about. But yeah, I guess Krause Hospital is literally the only, like the pregame has actual reads, but the postgame doesn't. Yeah, so super easy.
Game show.
10-point road win for Syracuse to move to 1-1 in ACC play. Giovanni Heater with you right here on CuseSportsTalk.com and ESPN Syracuse. Thanks for hanging out with us on your Tuesday night. 82-72, the final score down in Atlanta as the Orange top the Yellow Jackets. Syracuse goes 43% from the floor, while Georgia Tech shoots 39% from the floor. The Orange are 37% from beyond the arc, and their three-point defense stays pretty stout. Georgia Tech shoots just 4 of 18 from beyond the arc in this ball game. And how about this? Syracuse really starting to improve when it comes to free throws. Another good outing tonight from the stripe. 23 of 31, 74% from the line. Nathan George, starting point guard, former Yellow Jacket for 2 years under Damon Stoudemire. He goes 10 of 10 from the line. Donnie Freeman goes 7 of 11. JJ goes 4 of 6. 1 of 2 from William Kyle and 1 of 1 from Kyan Anthony. And then again, the Orange end up going 74% from the line. Remember when their average was just over 50%? That's starting to trend back towards the right direction of your Syracuse. Not perfect, but you just hope you get to a spot where it doesn't cost you games. And if they shoot around 74% the rest of the way, I think you're going to feel okay about that considering where things started if you're Syracuse. Looking at the rebound category, Syracuse out-rebounds Georgia Tech 44-34. Good number right there. They had 44 points at the halftime break as well. And when you look at second chance points, 19 second chance points off 14 offensive rebounds for Syracuse certainly played a huge, huge role in this basketball game, because coming into this thing, we knew that was going to be a way Syracuse could exploit Georgia Tech. I talked about how Georgia Tech shot 53% from the floor in a loss at Cameron Indoor Stadium to Duke on New Year's Eve. They led at the halftime break, led the majority of the game, played really, really well against Duke, took the 6th-ranked team in the country all the way to the brink. And you walk away from that thinking, man, how do you shoot 53% from the floor and lose that game if you're Georgia Tech? Well, that's how. Offensive rebounds. Duke ended up with 21 second chance points on like 18 offensive rebounds or whatever the number was. And that was a big difference maker in the game. They allowed way too many second chance points and offensive boards to the Blue Devils. It cost them. Syracuse really made them pay in that department tonight as well. Again, they were without Sela, their big man freshman inside. Played a big factor. Syracuse with William Kyle and Donnie Freeman were really able to exploit in the paint. Donnie had 9 rebounds of his own. Kyle had 8. Donnie with a career-high 27 points, and that was a big difference maker. Syracuse scored 38 of its 82 points in the painted area. We talked about which teams would get out and run a little bit, maybe push the tempo. Could that be a difference maker? Because when these two teams got into their offensive sets and really could dig their heels in defensively, we thought that both teams were really strong on the defensive side. They were both top 20 in defensive field goal percentage efficiency. So we thought maybe a team that could speed things up a little bit, get out and run a little bit, steal a couple of extra baskets in transition could be the difference makers. That was actually Georgia Tech tonight. 15 fast break points, Syracuse with just 10 of them. Though it didn't necessarily always result in points, though, I did feel like Syracuse had a big emphasis in trying to speed the game up, not allowing Georgia Tech to fully sink their heels into their set defense. And I thought Syracuse did a nice job of trying to keep them on their toes a little bit when running the offense. Overall, I just think the offense played a lot better, ran a lot smoother tonight. This was, in my opinion, for probably 75% of the game, I thought this was the best offensive performance we've seen out of Syracuse against a power conference opponent. Like, sure, they scored nearly 100 points on whoever, Delaware State or whatever. It's not in front of me, but you catch my drift. I thought against a power conference quality opponent, this was the best the offense had looked, and I think Donnie Freeman's a big part of that. The ball just moved way more. They were using screens. They were swinging it around. There wasn't a lot of isolation. There wasn't a lot of stuck in your feet. Like the ball wasn't stuck. It kept moving. They found the creases. They scored 82 points, which anytime you score 82 points, especially against the Georgia Tech team that was towards the top of the ACC in many of its defensive metrics, I think you feel good about that. Coming into tonight, Georgia Tech was 5th in the ACC in blocks a game, 4th in the ACC in defensive field goal percentage, 6th in the ACC in rebounding, and 3rd in the ACC in three-point percentage defense. And Syracuse succeeded pretty much across the board and dropped 82 on them. So really no complaints there. I thought this was one of Syracuse's best offensive performances against this caliber of opponent that we have seen. Phone lines are open, 315-437-7644 if you want to chime in, get in on the conversation. When we come back from this break, we've got a little bit of live audio for you. Matt Park breaking it down post-game with Red Autry from down in Atlanta, courtesy of our friends at Learfield, Syracuse Sports Network from Learfield. We'll play that for you next, right around the corner. You're listening to CuseSportsTalk.com and ESPN Syracuse.
Did you miss drive time?
Sweet. Yeah, I saw Jordan cooking that up, so I was like, perfect. I saw Jordan, so he'll just pop into my screen, and he just pulled it up. It says, Postgame, Learfield, Georgia Tech. So,
How long is that?
I actually don't know. It's... How long is it? 15 seconds? It's only 15 seconds? 15 minutes or seconds? It's 15 seconds long? Oh. All right, I guess we'll take it. I thought it was like his full-blown interview. Thanks, gang. Yes, please do a Red impression. Sometimes, actually, most of the time, it's an actual, Park does an actual interview with him. So I thought that's what it was. Sometimes, it really depends. For football, we always got something. We haven't really played many road basketball games. And even when they have, it was in Vegas, and it's that's kind of a zoo because other teams are, taking the court, and it's it's not just a set, road locker room because you know how they're sharing an arena with, multiple teams. So, that was kind of a zoo. And they haven't really... This is their first actual road game, so... Zach wants to know how your night's going, Sam. Sam's on the show on Saturday.
Yeah, my night's going great. Thanks for asking. I'm shadowing right now. Had interest in doing some stuff on the radio, so they're going to give me a chance. I'm going to be here with Gio for the Saturday game.
Yeah.
A couple other games beyond that, working as a 1-2 punch.
Yes.
I'm excited for it.
Looking
Thanks for
forward
asking.
to it.
How's your night going? I think it's weird that I can't see anyone. You know?
Yeah, no, you can never see him. You can never see him. I don't know what is this like cooked? Is that why Steve stopped using it? Maybe it's broken. Use that one.
They're all on?
I just potted that one up. But clearly somebody I was wondering why Steve was using that one today.
Thanks for your support, Mike. No, I will not be taking over the pre and post game. Unfortunately, I have other jobs that I have to do, but I really wanted to try this freelance, and I think Gio's really good. And I think radio is really hard. So I'm excited for it. I was telling him that earlier. I think radio is no joke. You're going to be able to talk for a lot of time, you know?
But the commercial breaks help, but I appreciate the kind words. No, Kyle's going to take my spot, and Kyle and Sam are going to do something together, too, once I'm gone.
I'm slated for 4 right now. We'll see how that goes and then decide I'll do some more.
You'll be great. You'll be great. No doubt. No doubt.
But I always say hope is not a strategy, so expect me to come prepped with some
Yeah,
more.
oh yeah. No, you can't. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Thank you for saying that about my podcast. The Orange Zone or the Mets one?
Yeah, I was going to say, which one, though? You're too kind, sports boy. I will miss you. I will miss all of the chatters. I'll still be locked in. Don't worry. I'm the biggest SU lacrosse fan on like the face of the earth, so I will be dialed into everything Cuse Sports Talk from afar. I get to go back to listening as a fan. That was trippy. I was like talking, and then that was my voice, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Is there a way to make this higher or no?
Yeah, I don't know what is going on. Is that better?
Yeah. You guys need some new mics.
For real.
Kidding.
Now.
ESPN 97.7, 100.1, 1200 and 1440 AM. This is the Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
82-72 the final score down in Atlanta. Syracuse takes down Georgia Tech to move to 1-1 in ACC play. 9-5 on the 2025-2026 campaign. Giovanni Heater with you tonight postgame on QSportsTalk.com and ESPN Syracuse. The slam dunk right there. If you want to call in and get in on the action, 315-437-7644, the number, as always, to chime in and chat. That is for ESPN 44. The phone lines are open. Break it down, Syracuse's 10-point win on the road at Georgia Tech. And this, in a lot of ways, to me at least, felt like a bit of an exhale if you're a Syracuse basketball fan. Your best player's back. He goes out there and rocks the night with 27 points. Super good defensive performance if you're Syracuse. I think Pat hit the nail on the head earlier in the show when he said, like, the dip didn't really worry him because it was kind of the perfect storm for Georgia Tech. They caught a couple of breaks. They go to review like twice, and it goes Georgia Tech's way. Like, sure, the dip can't happen if you're Syracuse, and it was a lot more fun when they were up by 20. But it's also unrealistic to expect a 20-point lead in an ACC game to hold and that to be the final score. Like, that's just not the nature of it, especially when you're playing on the road. You're against an enemy's crowd. Like, you're not going to win the game by 20. If you're up at the under 16 in the second half by 20, you're probably going to win that game by 10. And that's exactly what Syracuse went out there and did. And I think if you're a Cuse fan, you have to walk away feeling pretty good about this team's performance. You score 44 points in the first half. It's not like you hit a lull in the second half to end up getting to 82. You still scored 38 points in the second half, so you pretty much kept your foot on the gas offensively. I guess the only head-scratching piece is that you allowed just 30 points in the first half, and Georgia Tech did score 12 more in the second half. They scored 42 points in the second half, but again, I just feel like that's going to happen. Kudos to Damon Stoudemire and company. That's not really a team that quits. Georgia Tech played hard all 40 minutes of this basketball game, no matter what the scoreboard read, which is why they got this thing down to a 5-point game at one point. But it really did feel like Syracuse dominated the game. You look at the lead time, Syracuse led for 34 minutes and 9 seconds. Georgia Tech led for just 2 minutes and 27 seconds in this game, and Syracuse comes away with a 10-point win. We do have a little bit of audio for you, just 15 seconds, but some thoughts post-game from none other than head coach of the Orange, Red Autry, as he sat down with Matt Park on the Learfield broadcast from Atlanta. So we'll go ahead and play that for you now. Here is head coach Red Autry with Matt Park. This is from the Syracuse Sports Network by Learfield.
I thought this was a gutty win. We jumped them early. We knew that they would fight back. I thought we kept our composure down the end and made the plays that we needed to make. It's always hard to win on the road. So I was just proud of our guys, the way we responded and finished the game.
There you go. That is brought to you by Learfield and the Syracuse Sports Network. We thank them for helping us out. You heard it all from Coach. Yeah, you respond after a little bit of adversity, come away with a double-digit win on the road in ACC play, and I think it just sets the table for what's to come. And it does show that I think Syracuse can go on a bit of a run here, get hot. We said they probably got to win like 5 of the next 6, some combination of that. We said that there was a bit of runway for them to open up ACC play to really pick up some steam. If they play like this, if they play like they did tonight, I think that they are going to be in good position to do so. Some more quotes from Coach Autry that we were able to track down in his post-game press conference following the 82-72 win over Georgia Tech down in the ATL. He said, "I thought we improved and we got better today." I agree. He said, "We got careless with the ball and allowed them to get back into the game." I agree. They also did do that. He said, "He really sets the tone for us and gives us a different look. He's very important to what we do." That's on Donnie Freeman's impact. How could you not agree with that? They look like a completely different team with Donnie Freeman in the mix. He had over 18 points last game, all in the second half against Clemson once he really got comfortable again. 27 points tonight. I don't think there's any dispute to that. Gives them a completely different look. Super important. You just sit here and think, what if Donnie Freeman never gets hurt? One, the chemistry would probably be at an even different level right now, and maybe you do win this game by 20. But furthermore, you probably never lose to Hofstra. You win by a lot more in a lot of those closing out the non-conference portion of the schedule, those closer than comfort games against your Northeasterns and what have yous of the world. Mercyhurst, those games where we kind of walked away and felt like this team's not very good. I don't think we walk away feeling that way if Donnie Freeman plays. And then maybe you win one in Vegas. Shoot, maybe you win 2 or 3 of them. But even if you could have got one, they missed 17 free throws, allowed 21 second chance points on 17 offensive rebounds against Houston, and lost in overtime. I will forever think that they should have won that basketball game. But that's okay. I digress. That's why we play them, and that's why there's many more opportunities ahead for this Syracuse basketball team. Last quote from Coach Autry. He said, "I really want to thank all the Orange Nation that came out. They really made a difference, especially down the stretch." There were a lot of Cuse fans in the building. Now, Georgia Tech, not calling anybody out, they don't necessarily pack McCamish Pavilion. It's tough. It's a tough sell, right? There's a lot to do in a busy city like Atlanta. That's also a place where Georgia football takes supremacy over everything. I mean, even the Atlanta Falcons don't draw the same crowd as UGA football fans down in that neck of the woods. If you've ever spent time down there, which I have, it's tough. It's a tough draw. It's a tough sell to pack a place like that for an ACC basketball game. Even Georgia Tech football at times, they had a really good year, and it's not full for every game by any stretch of the imagination. And they got a beautiful stadium right in the heart of downtown Atlanta with a beautiful backdrop. It's just They are the second most important team in the state. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it. What that does mean is, as you know, there's Syracuse fans and alumni everywhere, especially Syracuse basketball fans everywhere. You could go out to L.A., you could go to Florida, you could end up in Dallas, you could be, of course, up in New York, D.C., wherever. You could run into a Syracuse fan. That's just how it is. It's one of those brands, especially back in the day, basketball-wise, but it's just an alumni base of people that come from everywhere, spread everywhere, and there's Syracuse alumni everywhere. So you did notice, if you watched the TV broadcast, there were a lot of SU alumni in the house. Shoot, there were even SU alumni calling the game, and Red Autry, who's a SU product. So on the TV side of things, on the ACC network. So SU fans galore in the building, and Coach wanted to make sure that he gave them the love after showing out and showing their support down at Atlanta, rooting on the Orange on the road. One more segment coming up. We're going to talk about the upcoming competition for Syracuse. What's ahead for the Orange as they walk away with an 82-72 win down in Atlanta. You're listening to CuseSportsTalk.com and ESPN Syracuse.
Did you miss Drive Time with Tim Leonard? Well, here.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten more callers. This is like the fewest callers we've gotten. But again, it's like they only call when they have stuff to complain about almost. Which is, I don't know. I feel like we've always had at least more than one. But for sure. 100%. 100%. Like a line of callers. Yeah. It's crazy. Happy birthday, Jordan. It's Jordan's birthday. Pod Sam's mic back up. Mic 3. So I potted your mic back up. Am I a Pat's fave? Oh, I'm Pat's fave. I thought you were asking if I was a Patriots fan, which I'm not. I'm a Bills fan, so that would have hurt me a little bit.
You are a Bills fan.
Big Bills fan. Yeah. Are you a Bills fan? All right. So is Steve. Bills and Mets. I'm Red Sox, but I was never really into baseball until I did minor league baseball with the Red Sox, so that's why I just like the Red Sox now. Because some of the guys that were there when I was there now play on the big league team, so it's like I was never super into baseball. Good. That's mean, Jordan. He said, good job on winning the division this season. Was a tight AFC East race. He's a Patriots fan. Jordan, why don't you tell everybody what your team was before you were a Patriots fan? The Syracuse. Syracuse to your moms. There you go. Well played, Jordan. They did sign a new kicker. That's because their kicker's hurt, unfortunately. Prater. Oh, we got a caller. Jordan, who's calling? Oh, Mike's calling. Mike's calling. Answer the phone, Jordan. I'm gonna pretend to be Tim. Tim always yells at me to answer the phone. Answer the phone, Jordan. He said I'm talking to him. I believe you. I just wanted to see what it feels like. Tim does that. I didn't really like it. It was very rude and mean. I'm not like that. I didn't like that at all. Free throw shooting stat. Okay, Mike.
Oswego County Mutual provides a wide range of coverage so you can protect what really matters, your business. Visit OCMIC.com to request a quote or find an agent.
Mike, I would love for you to call in at Texas A&M, though I don't know if we do that. Jordan, what are you doing to celebrate your birthday after this? walking my dog, then playing some 2K, maybe. Don't you have to work in the morning? How do you have time for 2K? I'm going to honk shoe after this. And I don't have to work in the morning. Leg day tomorrow, though. Big boy day. You only sleep 6 hours? It's not enough, J-Dog. Need at least 7 to 8. Mostly 8. But more than 8's a little too much. What? Or you could go 10? Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah. I find that if I do more than 8, I get I feel groggy the next day. Yeah. So there's a sweet spot. Maybe. It's also just working in sports media, though. Final segment here on QSportsTalk.com and ESPN Syracuse. Giovanni Heater with you post-game as the Orange go on the road to Atlanta, take down Georgia Tech 82-72. The final score from the ATL. A nice road win by double digits for the Cuse tonight to move to 1-1 in ACC play and hopefully start trending this thing in the right direction. With that, let's go to the phone lines one last time tonight. We saved the best for last. No offense, Pat. But we got my man. We got Mike McAllister on the horn. Mike, how we doing? To what do I owe the pleasure, my friend? It's been too long.
It sure has. Now, don't get Pat mad at me. He's going to call back in and yell at me.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
He's got to understand we did a whole football season together, though, over at Shaughnessy's.
I know. Pat, listen, Pat's his own legendary status, so I'm not even going to try to battle with that. But listen, as far as this game goes, I thought the overturned calls on both of the challenges, I thought the first one was fine. I thought it was tough to tell, but certainly kind of looked like it did hit George last. I think that it did. I just wasn't sure that it was 100% conclusive. The second one, they showed that zoomed-in view, and I legitimately could not tell. So I was shocked that they overturned it. But then they looked at it for as long as they did and then huddled, and it looked like they were saying, I don't know. And then it looked like they were going to go back and look at it again, and randomly the guy just goes, overturn, or the challenge is successful, Georgia Tech ball. And it looked like he wasn't ready to announce it. Like it was very, very weird. But either way, one of the biggest things with this team has been free throw shooting, right? Mm-hmm. It's been well documented. They've lost 2 games because of it. But over the last 5 games, they're shooting 70% from the free throw line. And that includes going 14 for 29 against Stonehill. So if you take that out, over 4 of the last 5 games, they're shooting 75% from the free throw line. So, I was starting to think, I wonder how much better they've been recently, because they were talking about it on the broadcast and said that they were at 61% as a team, and it was second or third worst in the country.
Right.
But I thought they were in the low to mid 50s at one point when they were worst in the country. So
they were, yeah, they were at 54.
Right. So the fact that they were over 60%, I'm like, well, they must have been shooting much better over the last few games then. So then after I think they were 73 or 74% today, I decided to go look at the last several games, and over those last 5 games, they're shooting significantly better. So that's an area where they have improved. They clearly noticed that it was a weakness. They've worked on it. They've improved. And as much flack as the coaching staff gets for different things, and I think some of the criticism is warranted, I do think it goes a little overboard sometimes, but we should give them credit when they improve on a weakness like the free throw shooting when they have the last several games.
100%. And their point guard goes out there and goes 10 of 10 from the stripe. Donnie goes 7 from 11. Yeah, I was super impressed with the free throw shooting, and Mike, you hit the nail right on the head. They did it against Clemson. They did it the game before that as well. And now it's becoming a trend in the right direction. If they get 70 to 75% free throw shooting the rest of the night, I'm not saying that's world beating, but it's such a significant improvement from the 54% that they were getting that I no longer think it'll cost them games down the stretch the way I had feared that, and the way that it had been proven to be doing that, like the Houston game.
Yeah, and coming out of that Houston game and then even to the Hofstra game, most people were like, man, I'd take 60% at this point.
Right.
And
60% would have won that game against Houston.
Yeah. I mean, imagine they are 3 free throws away from being 12-3 right now. And if they were 12-3, even with the loss to Clemson, and the Kansas and Iowa State losses, if they're sitting at 12-3 with wins over Houston and Tennessee in their back pocket,
yep.
Nobody's talking about, well, it's another year without the tournament. Everyone's like, well, Syracuse is in a good spot right now, and their net is probably top 70, top 60, something like that, and they're in a good spot with what they have upcoming on the schedule. Now, they didn't make those free throws, so they're behind the 8 ball,
right,
and they don't have as much wiggle room as they would otherwise. But if you win the next 3 games, you set up a really interesting one against a good Virginia Tech team that, if you can pull off that one, might get you back on track as to where you need to be to get yourself in that conversation.
That's going to be my last show. I can't wait for that game. For all of the reasons, I can't wait for that game. I hope they win out up until then.
Ironic that's the team.
Isn't it?
Is your last game.
That's
right?
just how the dates fall. That's completely how the dates fall, because I leave town the 24th. So obviously I'm leaving town and can't do the Miami show, and that's the last game I'm here for, and they happen to be playing the old alma mater. So sometimes things just work out like that. It's funny how things work out like that sometimes.
Yeah, it sure seems to be some twisted fate there a little bit, that's the way that it works out. But we're going to miss you. Everyone in Central New York is going to miss you, but we'll certainly be following you on social media and all that. And once you get some Texas A&M women's basketball post-game shows, we'll get Pat to call in and harass you then as well.
We need that Texas A&M Syracuse ACC SEC challenge in the Dome so that I can come bug Tim. That's what we need.
Let's do it.
Mike,
we got to call these conferences and make this happen.
For real. Mike, you're the man. I love you. And Colin, regardless, we're going to text. But let's do it again on Saturday.
That sounds like a plan. We'll talk to you then.
All right, you're the man. That is our friend Mike McAllister, as always. I think that's the perfect way to wrap it up. Chatting with Mike, it doesn't get any better. Feels like home talking Cuse Sports with Mike. Gonna have to talk some lacrosse before we know it with Mike, and then it'll be back to football, and the cycle continues. Final thoughts, wrapping things up. Really good win for Syracuse tonight, I think. You go on the road, 10-point victory, conference opponent. Looking ahead at who they have, I really think you just got to find a way to win 5 of the next 6, and that puts you right back into the realm of things. You got Pittsburgh on the road. They're 112th in the net rankings. That's a quad 2 opportunity, though, for Syracuse on Saturday. Really big game. If they can build some momentum, win 2 in a row, I think that really propels you into a nice spot if you're Syracuse. You should take care of business against Florida State at home. They're 114th in the net. That's a quad 3 game. Next Tuesday, night game, though, that 9 p.m.er. Boston College on the road. Then that's that Virginia Tech and Miami back-to-back. 57th in the net is where the Hokies are. 36th in the net is where Miami is at. Stuff gets real from there, folks. NC State, 37th in the net. That's a road game. Notre Dame, 67th in the net. You get them at home. Then it gets kind of scary. 22, North Carolina, that's a road one. They're 22 in the net. 25, Virginia, that's a road game. Cal is 59th in the net. You get them at the Dome. 23rd, SMU. Quad 1 game at home. Duke is 7th in the net. Carolina, again, they're 22nd. Louisville's 15th. So, again, even Wake Forest is 60th, and you get them on the road, so that's a quad 1 game. The opportunities are there, but you got to take care of business against the teams you should beat. That's Georgia Tech, done. That's Pittsburgh, got to get there. Florida State, Boston College. These are the big 4. Got to win these 4, and then start sprinkling in some of the other ones and see what happens. See if they can build a little bit of a resume here when it's all said and done. Want to thank Jordan so much. The man came in late night to hang out on his birthday, and the magic, the show, doesn't happen without him. Can't do a show. All I do is sit up here and talk, so can't do a show without Jordan. Appreciate you, my man. You're the best, and we got to get that limp lizard before we know it, before I'm out of town. So appreciate Jordan hanging out with us on his birthday. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Thanks to Sam for hanging out, and we're going to have her on Saturday. Welcome her to the show for the first time. Looking forward to that. Until then, we'll have Orange Nation, as always, noon to 2. We'll have drive time 5 to 6 throughout the rest of the week, and I will talk to you on Saturday. 82-72, the final score out in Atlanta. Syracuse takes down Georgia Tech.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Cohen, everybody, when you refer to the Bills, can you do me a favor and say not the Bills?
Why would you do that to him, Rich?
I hear that, man. There's no shot. I'm not giving him any of that, man.
The Jacksonville